on Wonderland. Okay, and we are going to continue with that. So, okay, let me just get that connection to tryhackme, and then I'll continue. Okay, so let's here deploy this thing. copy this, paste it here. Probably we need to wait for a couple of minutes before it is probably accessible. Okay, so now custom Python file. Now for the ST party, we had seen that it was using a system program called date. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the temp directory, because see, in any system that you have, the temp directory is the one where you have free reign to like just create or modify any files that you want. So that's why we go to the temp directory. Now we first create a file called date, and we need to tell the system that we need to run this using bin bash. So first we add this shebang or bin bash, and then what we want to run is also coincidentally bin bash as well. After that, exit, Save. And now we need to change its permissions to make it executable. Okay. Why does this shell? I'm like this. Okay, now let's try executing Tea Party. Okay, it's not in this directory. It's in home rabbit. Okay, so Tea Party, just execute it. Okay, let's see when this shell behaves this way. I need to get a new shell now. So again, I'll have to SSH as Alice. Okay, let's just use this again. Okay, yeah. There's one thing that we didn't do yet. That's why this is not working. Can anyone figure out what that is? Our date program is not being called even currently. The system's date program is being called. So can you think why that would be the case? See, because we have made our own file called date, but the system does not know that that file exists. It is going to only look for its own file. That's because we haven't really changed the value of the environment variable known as path. So we need to tell path to look in our directory first. So where have we made that file? In the temp directory. So I need to do export path is equal to temp followed by path. So this is going to add this temp directory to the beginning of the path variable. So the first thing it's going to look for, the first place it's going to look for that date file will then become our temp directory. Now if I do echo dollar path again, okay, I think this would be an issue. I wrote the incorrect value here. Yeah, I forgot to mention this dollar to sign. So what I'll do is just have the value of the path variable. I'll just say export path is equal to, okay, now if I try running that program, I don't understand what the issue is with this shell. Okay, but the value of temp is fine now. Sorry, the value of path is fine. Now if I try running tea party, okay, so see what happened here. Welcome to the tea party. The Mad Hatter will be here soon, probably by. Now after probably by, what runs is the date program. So instead of the original date program, our own version is running, and that is escalating our privileges to that of the Hatter account. Okay, now if I go to Hatter directory, see what's here. There's just a file called password.txt. Okay, so this is the password for this Hatter account. So the next time we log in, we can simply use this, or you can just directly use SSH to log in as this account if you have this password. Okay, but that still does not give us access to this root account. Okay, so that part of privilege escalation is something that we still haven't done. Now there are ready-made scripts available that will try to figure out what possible avenues for privilege escalation are present on a system. So one of such scripts is linpiece. Okay, let me just show you what it is. Okay, linpiece. So now what this does is when you run it on a system, like for example, if I run it on my own system, it's going to tell me how, like what kind of ways, how many different ways there are in which I could perform privilege escalation on my system. Okay, so it's going to try and figure out how many different vectors there might be for performing privilege escalation. So you can simply download it from here from GitHub. Now what we want to do is I want to run this script on this target system, not on my system, but on this target system. So what I can do is again, I'll go to temp. I have the script already on my system. Okay, not here. Let me just. I have the script ready, linpiece.sh. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to create, I'm going to use Python to create a simple HTTP server on my system, port 80, and using this system, what I'll do is within the temp directory, I'll download that file. So I'll use the wget command for it, HTTP, and now I'm going to provide it the IP for my machine on this tryhackme network, and we want this linpiece.sh file. So that is what we're going to download. Okay, ls-l. So this file is now here. We need to make it executable. Okay, check now. It is executable. Now I'm going to run it. So it's going to try and find different things, different parameters or different properties of the system, and see how it can make use of that to perform the privilege escalation. To run for a while, and it's going to look for different things. So see, the path variable that we're using, it is not default. We have added something to it, so it has detected that as well. It's telling us what version of sudo is being used. Now that's not really of much help to us. Okay, it's stopping here because our date program is changed, so it is stuck there. Let me just stop this, and I'll just remove the custom date program that we had made. Yes. Okay, then I'll just change the value of path. I'll go to the previous value. Okay, so now it's going to keep looking for different things. So actually the output is quite long. Sudo version path date system starts. This is not really going to help us. So within the SUID section as well, there are no interesting files which have the SETUID bit set in their permissions. But there is something known as capabilities, okay, and this could work for us. Okay, so this the Perl compiler has SETUID privileges, or not privileges, but capabilities. Now in Linux, okay, capabilities are, you could say, they're similar to permissions. They're not exactly the same. I mean, they are, you could say, another version of privileges. They're basically special attributes in the Linux kernel. And These privileges are only, sorry, they are special attributes in the Linux kernel, and these grant some special privileges to the whatever process has been assigned that capability, and these normally only work for the root user. But if there is a set UID privilege, then we could use that to our advantage. Now this is in Perl. Now what I could simply do is Perl, and I could say privilege escalation with Perl with set cap. So you come here, capabilities. Okay, if the binary has the Linux cap set UID capability set, it can be used as a backdoor to maintain privileged access by manipulating its own process UID. And the way to do that is by running this command that they have given here. So I'm going to just copy this. Let's see. So what it's doing is setting the UID as 0, and so 0 is for root, and then it's running the shell. So let's see whether that gives us root access here. Okay, so let me just paste this. It says Perl permission denied. Okay, why might that be? Oh, I think there's some, it did not copy the entire thing, I think. Okay, let me just, permission denied. Should not be the case. Let's say I specify user bin and copy paste the rest of it. Why is it giving us permission denied in this case? Okay, let me just SSH into this machine once. Okay. So we just needed to log in using SSH. I'm not sure why that was the case because I haven't received an issue like that previously. Okay. Now we have a shell. Let's check who we are. Who am I? Root. Okay. We now finally have root access on this system and we have escalated our privileges. Let me just try to get a proper shell using Python here. Python not found. I'll have to try with Python 3. Okay, so now we are root and we need to access the root.txt file, which we've seen is present in the home Alice directory. So there's that file. Let's access it. And this is the second and final flag for this machine. So you can just copy this and you can paste it over here. So that will be your final answer. So this is the end of this CTF. Any questions? No, okay. Count of days. I'm not sure about that.